As we move on to the 49ers defeating Tom Brady and
So
the
there,
Tampa Bay
that
Buccaneers.
just your point up though, right there.
What?
Well, look at Brock Purdy.
For every Brock Purdy, there are, I don't want to say.
You don't know.
That's true. No, it is true. It's part of the story.
Yeah.
But we want Justin Herbert
Yes,
healthy.
we do. Of
want
course
Tom
we do.
Brady healthy. We would love to have Jimmy Garoppolo healthy, but it is super fun watching Brock Purdy come in there. And he looks... I mean, I don't want to get, it's like 2 games, right?
It looks like he belongs, right, Alvin?
It does look like he belongs, right? He looks like he has a command of the offense. Looks like he's maybe more mobile than Jimmy Garoppolo was.
Definitely. That's definitely an element he brought to the table yesterday, right? There you go. This is going to be something that, teams are going to have to worry about a little bit here with him compared to Garoppolo.
First game, you think, maybe a fluke. The other team wasn't ready for him.
Beginner's luck.
Now you go against the Buccaneers defense, who was missing a couple key players in the secondary. I don't think Winfield played right. Mike Edwards was out. Vita Vea got hurt in the game, but still, it's an NFL defense, and this is a last pick in the draft. San Francisco touchdown passes on throws outside the numbers and 20 or more yards downfield.
I love it.
Jimmy Garoppolo last 3 seasons, 2. Brock Purdy in the second quarter yesterday, 2.
Yeah.
So he gives them something they did not have.
He, as we said last week, his arm looks every bit as strong as Jimmy Garoppolo's. I don't, and he looks to this point to be a better deep ball thrower. And as we've always said, to me, one of the best things you can do, one of the safest places you can throw for a young quarterback is outside. There's less to read. There's less traffic. There's less arms you're throwing through at the line of scrimmage. You don't have to worry about the receiver catching it and boom, getting crushed. Ball pops in the air, interception. More dangerous things can happen over there. So I would love to see this be more of an element of the 49ers. I've been calling for this for a long time out of the San Francisco 49ers. You know that. But, yes, I'm with you in the fact that this doesn't look like, hey, this is a great team that's managing their quarterback and just trying to make it work. It looks like the offense is in. It doesn't look like they're doing a whole lot different. Now, I'm sure there's a few things that are maybe next level that are maybe not as comfortable for Brock Purdy yet, but I don't think it's going to be something that we're going week 18 and they're going, well, he's still trying to find his way in the offense. And then it's the second week in a row we're starting to see them dominate the line of scrimmage a little bit in the true running game. And that's when the 49ers, to me, become scary. Because once we can't stop the regular run, Shanahan starts to, this is where he's brilliant. Then he starts to do 74 different things off of that because you're worried about piling it in the box and stopping in between the tackle runs. And then it becomes the other stuff that starts to gash you. So, between the pass game, the way McCaffrey looks, the defense being dominant, and the 49ers got a few calls that went their way yesterday, but that was an ass whooping. And I think we can stop talking about the Bucs. Maybe you're going to turn it around and find the magic. That shit's over, all right? They're very fortunate to be 6-7, the Bucs, when you look at it in totality. And they could very easily be 4-9. I mean, they very easily. They had no business beating the Saints. They had no business beating the Rams. I mean, you just take those two alone, let alone some other, underwhelming performances. But, yeah, I just look at the 49ers and the offense itself kind of seems like it's hitting its stride, and the defense definitely bounced back from not being at its best last week against Miami and Tua and company.
Yeah, 14 carries for Christian McCaffrey, 119 yards after on this podcast. You said maybe he should be a wide receiver and not the running back. He goes, I'll show you, Chris. Keep me in the backfield here.
But then you saw his little double move for the touchdown, right? One of those throws outside the numbers. One touchdown was to Ayuk for a touchdown. The other one was to McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And he ran a little bit of I'm going to run the slant, or he stopped and then he went by him. I mean, it's and then see, that to me is the brilliance of Shanahan too. Oh, well, they think it's Brock Purdy, so they think we're going to throw it quick and get it out of his hand and be high percentage. So he almost with the defense mindset too. And they're thinking that all the week too. Oh, they're going to run high percentage plays and try to get the ball out of the hand quick for this kid. So he kind of uses that thought against them, which is brilliant in itself too. And then, of course, the defense. How can you not talk about that and how uncomfortable just the Bucs looked? Brady looked uncomfortable as usual when you see pressure around him right now at this age. But that was a dominant win by the 49ers.
Yeah, dominant win by San Francisco, who need Christian McCaffrey now because who knows, Deebo Samuel could be gone for a while. Doesn't appear to be season-ending.
Yeah, I hope not. Right.
Well, we heard after the game Kyle Shanahan saying high likelihood that it's a high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
But, man, that didn't look good when he was on the field.
No.
And the replay of it.
Yeah, but it's good. That's good news. And I feel like we'd know by now. if it was something more serious.
He runs so hard. It's
exactly right. His feet jamming to the ground because he's always trying to pull people and
get
break
that
a
extra
tackle.
yard.
Exactly.
Which I love that. I don't know that there's anyone in the NFL who's harder to take down, pound for pound, than Deebo Samuel.
Right.
But sometimes it was like growing up watching Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
Right. He almost never had runs like that.
Right.
He would kind of know. It's like I could really put
over.
I could maybe get one more yard, maybe two.
Right.
And the problem with Deebo is like he could break that tackle and get another 15. And so we've seen that.
There's a conversation I've had with Shanahan before a lot. It's freaky guys like that usually end up getting bad injuries because they just go, well, nobody's ever stopped me. Oh, get off me. I'm still running, right? It's like Bo Jackson. His hip came out of the socket, and you're like, well, yeah, because there was a guy jumping on his back, and he just went, I'm going to keep running. I don't care, right? He's a freak. He's like, I've run with every other guy on my back. Oh, my hip came out. It's a little like that at times, but, they need him. We know that, especially to go to the Super Bowl, especially to beat some, the Eagles, somebody like that. But, again, another notch where last week I went, I don't know if I can put the 49ers in the Super Bowl conversation anymore. I got to see more of Brock Purdy. This was definitely a positive little notch to go, okay, well, maybe they do. Maybe they can do it still. And, again, I don't want to make it definitive yet here, but as it's looked in 2 games, they certainly don't seem like they're desperate without Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, he's already done something that no other quarterback making his first NFL start has ever done. Beat Tom Brady.
Yeah.
He was 6-0 previously in those situations. Brady should have gotten in the defensive secondary out there. Played safety. Right? He's got to keep this perfect record intact.
Seriously.
How did he let that happen?
What a cool thing for his family, right? You saw his dad crying a little bit, and it looked like it was his brother or whatever. I mean, what a great family moment, to do that in San Francisco. You know how important it was for Brady to come back to his hometown and give one last hurrah there. I thought here's one area where I thought the game slipped from the Bucs. If I had to go back to one decision that I felt like was wrong. They were down 7-0, and the Bucs put together a decent little drive, and they decided to attempt a 55-yard field goal.
Yeah.
And it was one where I was like, ooh, I don't know if I'd do that. It's Brock Purdy. They had a good first drive, but it's the Shanahan first 15 type of thing. Like, let's punt him down there and make him be in the back, backed up to his own end zone, and see if the rookie can go down the field on us again. I would have played a little bit, I think, the field position at that moment of the game. Instead, what do? They give him the short field, right? And they go right down and score 8 plays later, and all of a sudden now it's 14-0, and that's just not what you want to be involved with the 49ers. It's like Tony Dungy said last night, or Jason Garrett, I think, said it a few times. Once they get up by 14, it gets scary against San Francisco because now it's just all these crazy zone coverages and psycho Nick Bosa and everybody else starts going, quarterback sacks, and that's where they're scary, and it's hard to protect. I don't care what O-line you got when they're coming at you. Thanks for watching, homies. Hit subscribe to see all my unbuttoned videos. You get to see me, Ahmed Fareed, all the big player breakdowns, game breakdowns, player interviews, and my film analysis. So please subscribe. Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Peace out.